This is a Georgian late 18th century folding campaign table, probably made for use on board ship by the Navy. And it reduces quickly and dramatically in size from 34 inches to about 5¼ and it does that in a very similar manner to a naval chair. But it's got hinges to the side and it folds in the flat pack very quickly and neatly so you can get the cannon into action on the ship. Well, let's show you on this table how that happens. So you've got two leaves. You can clearly see the split there with the leaves. And they fold all the way over on these interesting, probably bespoke made hinges. And then the apron rails are hinged so that the two ends of the table will fold in. And as you can see, very quickly, it's reduced dramatically in size, making it much easier to move on board a ship, to take it down below deck, out of the way, whilst you get the cannon into action. And it's a very understated but lovely table. I mean, very Georgian for that. You don't have a lot of decoration. You've got a simple chamfer to the inside of a leg, but they just used really good quality mahogany and they've made it really well. Now, when it's set up, of course, you don't want it folding out on you. So you've got these blocks just simply set, which will drop in like that, and that will stop it folding. But apart from dining, laying out maps, you can also use this table as a working table for writing or reading. And of course, at that period, they liked to have an angled surface to work on. So you can just lift up these two bars, and then you've got an angled work surface to make it just a little bit more versatile. So I think probably we need to come off the tripod and just come in and look at a little bit of a detail of this table to really show you the quality. So first of all, let's have a look at these hinges. So you can see them there, how they work, and you've got the hinge coming along here to set it in for extra strength. Now on the inside of the legs, for the rails to fold in, you've got two more hinges there. These are the blocks for supporting the table when you're using it as a writing surface, and you can see that they're on a single knuckle joint. They've got an angle to the edge to support them, and they'll just drop down like that when not needed. Now, when the table is put together, as an extra way of just uniting the top, you've got these little tenons here. So 1, 2, and those fit into these mortise joints here. There's a chamfer to the inside leg. Now we're just going to take this top over and we're going to show you evidence of some previous fittings that have since been removed. Now you can see these cutouts and they're only on the one side, but on both legs, there and there. And it's probable that those were for either brass or iron fittings, which would further fold out and lock the table in place. Maybe one of them broke, and at some point the owner of the table decided it was simpler just to remove them both. It's belts and braces, really. The table works perfectly fine without them. They're not needed, but they're interesting to see. So finally, on the detail, the last thing to look at is the hinges on the top of the apron. So you can see those set in there as well. Well, let's put it back together and sum it all up for you. One further detail before we set it up again, which is worthy of note, is the way these rails are nicely cut in here. They're rebaited, and the top of the leg is rebaited as well, just so that they form a nice clean finish when set up, but when folded you can see they just push back neatly like that. Just nice extra detail which makes a table like this stand out. So we fold the flap up. Now you can see that this side has got a very minor curve to it, a very slight warp. Hopefully with it at that angle you can see that. Now that doesn't really have any effect on its use, and when it's set up you don't really notice it, but it is there, so it's worth pointing it out. Now to join the two pieces together, because of the tenons, of course, we've got to lift them both up, line the tenons and the mortises up, and there you go. It's all set up, ready for use, ready to dine on, ready to get your charts out, ready to read a book on, whatever. And for modern use, very practical. If you need an extra dining table to pull out, it of course folds down to 5 1/4 inches, but it's a nice sized table for 4 people to dine at. And as I said at the beginning, it's got that wonderful late 18th century understatement that the Georgians were so good at. Just really lovely quality timber, nicely made piece of furniture, no fuss to it with the decoration, just a really good looking piece. So English, round about 1760 in date, and probably made for use on board a naval ship.